Over the last 3 years at board meetings, we've increasingly been spending time looking at our forward strategy, and we feel it's time to start sharing some of those ideas and plans with the members, but also, just as important, if not more, is to solicit feedback and ideas from our members and get members more involved. So, just to remind everybody, the three main pillars of our current 5-year strategy are the following. One is around globalization. If you'd been at the opening session or seen some of our other presentations, you can see that our membership base is becoming increasingly internationalized. I think when I joined the board 3 years ago, we were more than 50% European-based membership, and now that has dropped to 43%. And that's not through Europe shrinking, it's through the rest of the world rest of the world growing. So in response to that, we're increasingly focusing time and efforts to continue to globalize and grow globally. We have a membership growth target. We're currently at 19,500 members, and the aim when the 5-year strategy was put in place was to grow that to 25,000 members by 2020. Obviously that's been a bit challenging the last 3 years, but we're not shrinking, we're still growing, so it's not out of the question. And also to remain a one-stop knowledge for and community for the geosciences and engineering. Our roots are very much in Europe and geophysics, which remain very important, but we also work in other disciplines and other industries. And that diversity is also proving very valuable as the parts of the oil and gas industry contract. Having that diversity has been a benefit for us. So I'm going to touch on 5 issues where we are working on strategy, and one is around membership and volunteering. For us to grow around the world, we have a very strong membership and volunteering base of experienced people in Europe and some other parts of the world, but to enable us to grow and do the same in other regions, we need a very strong volunteering base. So as you can see, Europe is now 43, and the growth is coming from Asia, Africa, Latin America, mostly. Yeah. So, I mean, the questions we're asking ourselves and how we address that, and we'd like some input from our membership, is, you know, how do we increase that membership participation in the regions? We see that we've got a very strong student community coming up, and that student community is very diverse. But in some places we don't have such a strong senior, mature membership volunteering base. But it's important for our future. The other opportunity is around regions and geographical growth is, you know, where should we go? We only have a certain amount of resources, and the world is very large and huge, but where should we focus those resources? Which are the most important places for the organization? And not only that, how should we go there? Should we go there alone? Should we go there with our sister societies, IAPG, SBE, etc.? Should we work with the local societies? And we are doing that. We're doing all of those things, but at a certain stage you get stretched and we need to focus our resources. So it's important to get feedback from our memberships where we should go and where they want us to go and how we should go there. Diversity, very important subject. We're getting more geographically diverse, but there's all sorts of diversities that are important to the organization. And it's pretty clear from when you look at our board, our committees, awards, etc., that we're not growing in diversity in those areas as fast as our membership is growing in diversity. Now, it takes time to catch up, but we need to look at ways how we can help that diversity come through in the right way, in the right place, at the right speed. And also diversities in terms of industries and disciplines and when and how we should do that. We've made starts there, but there's still a long way to go, and we need help from our membership to get there. The funds, we've touched on the funds a couple of times, and it's really pleasing to see that the board has approved dipping into our accumulated savings to give back more to our members in difficult times. We currently have three main funds: an education fund where we use to educate, support educational activities. We have a cooperation fund which helps us build out into the communities around the world. And we have a support fund which helps people come to events like the annual, etc. So we are able to spend a little bit more on that, which is great. But we also are open to other ideas in terms of giving back to the members, and we'd like initiatives from our members to give ideas where should we put that in place. We've also put in place this year a major role of the board is in governance of the funds. So we've put in place a funds governance committee to make sure what is being done in the field is translated to the board and fits our strategy in the long term. But we'd like more input from the members on how we give back to them, and some more ideas. And finally, the other initiative we've put in place is how the board itself should be constructed. We have a board of 10 people, and some of the composition of that board has been in place for many years now. And is that board composition suited to the organization going forward? The reason this came up is because we have representations of some of our communities on the board, like near surface, like education, etc. But then we have large communities which are not represented on the board, like young people, like regions. But if we include them, the board can become very large and unwieldy. So how do we deal with that? So the main roles of the board are listed there above. I mean, it represents the members and the Shareholders Association, and it has a governance role, and it has a strategic role which we're increasingly working on in the organization. So we also have put together a working committee to look at the board composition and how it's selected, and is it fit for purpose in the future, should we adapt it. And we'd like to seek ideas and feedback from the members if it's the right thing to do, and how the right thing to do, and what the right thing to do is. So thank you for listening to some ideas and some of the direction we have in the board. And I'm not going to open this up to questions on the live stream, but there are channels. Please contact board members, the president, or the office for your ideas, and we'll be working and communicating channels to share this in the future. Thank you.